I never anticipated my own sibling would undermine my aspirations, but avarice has a way of transforming individuals in unforeseen manners. Allow me to commence from the origin. I am Olivia Bennett, 28 years of age, and I've consistently been the dependable one within the family. While my younger sister, Lily, dedicated her university years to revelry and changing academic disciplines every semester, I held down two occupations to finance my own business education. Our parents perpetually rationalized her behavior, stating, Lily's merely exploring her options, or she possesses an artistic temperament unsuitable for a traditional vocation. I resided parsimoniously, conserved every dollar, and executed prudent investments. By the age of 26, I ultimately realized my ambition, acquiring a modest yet delightful Victorian residence in a heritage district. It lacked ostentation, but it was mine. Every creaking floorboard, every angled wall, I cherished it entirely. I devoted weekends to reinstating its original elements, acquiring carpentry skills from online tutorials, and gradually metamorphosing it into my quintessential abode. However, while I was assiduously constructing my existence, brick by brick, Lily was fabricating an illusion. She had, through some means, secured employment at an exclusive marketing firm, courtesy of Dad's longtime golf companion, and commenced a relationship with Zachary Monroe, the scion of a prosperous real estate magnate. Abruptly, she became preoccupied with appearances, designer attire, leased luxury vehicles, and a perpetual stream of Instagram photographs exhibiting her perfect existence. Then transpired the engagement. Zach proposed with a ring exceeding my entire yearly income in value, and Lily swiftly transitioned from high maintenance to a full-fledged bridezilla. That marked the true inception of my ordeal. It originated with a familial repast at our parents' dwelling. Mom had prepared her renowned lasagna, and the table was adorned with fine china, a distinct indication that a significant matter was imminent. Olivia, darling, Lily initiated, her voice saturated with artificial amiability. You are aware that my nuptials must be utterly exceptional. Zach's family anticipates nothing less than flawlessness. I assented cautiously, masticating on a piece of garlic bread. I had previously consented to be her maid of honor, notwithstanding her imperious disposition. Well, I've discovered the ideal locale, the Somerset Manor. It's this stunning historic estate with verdant gardens, and they only accommodate a limited number of nuptials annually. Her eyes gleamed with fervor. The sole issue is, it's somewhat costly 100,000. Just for the venue? Don't be so narrow-minded, Olivia, Lily retorted, rolling her eyes. This is my singular, once-in-a-lifetime occasion, and that's why, she paused theatrically, I require you to vend your residence. The chamber descended into silence. Even the crickets outside seemed to suspend their chirping. Pardon me? I must have murmured. Your dwelling, she reiterated, articulating slowly as if addressing a juvenile. You can vend it and procure a rental property. That antiquated structure necessitates extensive repairs regardless, and this way you can contribute to my flawless day. Zach's family is being so munificent, and it's mortifying that our side cannot reciprocate. I glanced at our parents, anticipating them to terminate this preposterous entreaty, but to my astonishment, Mom was nodding enthusiastically. Honey, Lily has a valid point, Mom interjected. That house is excessive labor for a solitary woman, and you desire your sister to experience her dream nuptials, correct? Dad maintained his gaze fixed on his lasagna, evading any form of ocular contact. You must be jesting, I stated, depositing my fork. You desire me to liquidate my home, the one I dedicated years of labor to acquire, the one I've infused my essence into renovating, merely for a single day? It's not merely a festivity. Lily slammed her hand on the table, rattling the wine glasses. It's my wedding, and as my sibling, you are obligated to assist. Everyone is aware you're prospering with your ancillary enterprises. or whatever you engage in on that laptop all day. If only they comprehended that those ancillary enterprises were my actual real estate investment firm. While they presumed I was merely a mid-level accountant, I had been discreetly accumulating a portfolio of commercial properties. The irony of this predicament was almost comical, were it not so infuriating. "No," I asserted resolutely, rising. "Absolutely not. I am content to assist with the nuptials, but I shall not vend my residence." Lily's countenance flushed crimson. "You egocentric fiend! You've perpetually envied me, simply because you are incapable of securing a male partner and reside in that unsightly, dilapidated dwelling." "That is sufficient," I interjected, gathering my possessions. "I am departing, and Lily. Procure yourself another attendant." As I proceeded to my vehicle, I could discern Lily's melodramatic sobs and Mom's attempts to console her. Dad hastened after me. "Princess," he addressed me, employing my childhood appellation. "You comprehend Lily's nature. Merely contemplate it, all right? Perhaps you could procure a loan or something." I gazed at him in incredulity. "Dad, are you heeding your own words? You desire me to incur debt for Lily's wedding venue?" He shifted uneasily. "We merely desire to maintain tranquility, and well, Zach's family is exceedingly influential. This wedding could unlock opportunities for all of us." That's when I apprehended that my family would never metamorphose. They'd perpetually prioritize Lily's yearnings above everyone else's necessities. However, they possessed no inkling of whom they were confronting. "Do not fret regarding the venue, Dad," I stated, a scheme formulating in my mind. "I shall manage it." He appeared relieved, presumably supposing I would capitulate, but I harbored an entirely different intention. 3 months prior, I had acquired a historic estate through my investment firm, a resplendent, antiquated mansion that had been on the market for months, priced considerably below its value due to the previous proprietor's exigency to vend swiftly. I had been discreetly renovating it, intending to transform it into a high-end event venue. The designation of that estate? The Somerset Manor. What transpired subsequently would impart a lesson to my sister and parents that they would never forget. But that's when the genuine narrative commenced. The ensuing weeks were a tumult. Lily persisted in inundating me with text messages, dispatching guilt-inducing missives interspersed with thinly veiled menaces. Mom telephoned daily with novel concepts for how I could assist with the nuptials, ranging from procuring a second mortgage to liquidating my automobile. I permitted them to believe I was contemplating their demands while laboring on my scheme in obscurity. Somerset Manor had been my most substantial investment to date. When I initially encountered its listing, I recognized it as a treasure. Constructed in 1885, it retained all its original allure. Sweeping staircases, elaborate moldings, crystal chandeliers, and 12 acres of meticulously maintained grounds. The elderly couple who possessed it had maintained it in immaculate condition, but necessitated a swift sale due to health concerns. I had dedicated months to executing subtle enhancements, incorporating contemporary amenities while conserving its historic splendor. My event management enterprise, Bennett Events, registered under my middle name for discretion, had just commenced reserving events, and the estate was already evolving into the most exclusive venue in the region. What Lily remained oblivious to was that she had reserved her nuptials at my estate. She had been corresponding with my event manager, Chloe, who comprehended precisely who Lily was, but executed the role of an accommodating professional impeccably. The day of the venue tour materialized. I ensured my early arrival, parking my unassuming automobile at the rear. Through the surveillance cameras, I observed as Lily's sleek black SUV approached the gates, followed by our parents' vehicle and several other opulent conveyances. I sat in a magnificent office of the estate, monitoring the security feed as Chloe welcomed them in the marble foyer. Lily was virtually erupting with exhilaration, pointing out every glistening chandelier and gilded molding to Zach's mother, who appeared suitably awestruck. "The manor is exceedingly discerning regarding the events we host," I overheard Chloe expound through the security feed. We only undertake approximately 12 nuptials annually, while we are prepared to disperse whatever is necessary. Zachary's father proclaimed haughtily, "The Monroe designation merits nothing but the finest." I smiled, adjusting my blazer and verifying my name tag. Olivia Bennett, proprietor and CEO. It was time for my ingress. I descended the grand staircase just as Chloe was guiding the group into the principal ballroom. The expression on Lily's countenance when she beheld me was invaluable. Bewilderment, followed by cognizance, then sheer consternation. "Olivia!" she shrieked. "What are you executing here?" "Welcome to Somerset Manor," I stated composedly, extending my hand to Zachary's parents. "I am Olivia Bennett, the proprietor. I believe you've already encountered my event manager, Chloe." The silence was deafening. Lily's mouth opened and closed like a fish, gasping for air. Mom clutched Dad's arm for support. Zachary's parents seemed perplexed but impressed. They were old money enough to appreciate youthful entrepreneurial prowess. "You," Lily finally sputtered, her composure disintegrating. "You own this. But you reside in that minuscule dwelling. You operate a Toyota." "A shrewd businesswoman comprehends the significance of residing below her means," I rejoined placidly. "Now, regarding your reservation, I regret to inform you that we shall have to decline." "What?" Lily's countenance assumed a perilous shade of crimson once more. "You cannot do that. We've already informed everyone. Zachary's family's repute." "Indeed I can," I interjected smoothly. "You perceive, when you submitted your reservation request, you executed our standard terms and conditions. Section 3.2 explicitly stipulates that we reserve the prerogative to decline service to anyone who engenders a hostile environment for our staff or proprietorship." I produced a folder containing printouts of every acrimonious text and email she had dispatched to me over the preceding weeks. "These assuredly qualify." Mom advanced, endeavoring to salvage the situation. "Sweetheart, let's be judicious. We are kin." "Amusing," I interjected. "That's not what you articulated when you were exerting pressure on me to liquidate my residence for this venue. Kinship is a two-way street, Mom." Zachary's father cleared his throat. "Olivia, was it? Perhaps we could deliberate this privately. Name your price." I smiled courteously. "Mr. Monroe, your son appears to be a commendable individual, and I wish him all the best, but this is not about monetary compensation. It's about deference, boundaries, and ramifications." That's when Lily deployed her ultimate recourse: tears. Not her customary histrionic sobs, but subdued, seemingly genuine tears. "Olivia, please," she whispered. "This is my dream venue. I've already informed everyone. I'll be humiliated." For a transient instant, I experienced a pang of remorse. Then I recollected all the instances she had humiliated me, disparaged my accomplishments, and attempted to compel me to forfeit my own aspirations for hers. "Dreams are peculiar entities," I stated softly but resolutely. "Some individuals believe they are entitled to them, while others labor indefatigably to transform them into actuality. I regret, but my determination is conclusive." What ensued was pandemonium. Lily experienced a complete breakdown, vociferating about how I had ruined her life. Mom attempted to guilt-trip me, while Dad appeared as though he desired the earth to engulf him. However, Zachary's parents exhibited a divergent response. "Impressive," Zachary's mother remarked, scrutinizing me with newfound deference. "You constructed all of this yourself?" "Yes, ma'am," I rejoined. "I initiated my enterprise 5 years ago, utilizing the savings I accumulated while holding 2 occupations throughout university." "Now that's the kind of aspiration we esteem in the Monroe family," Zach's father assented approvingly. He turned to Lily, who was still sobbing dramatically. "Perhaps, dear, this is an indication that you should reevaluate your approach to, well, everything." The expression on Lily's countenance was priceless. Her prospective in-laws were unequivocally more impressed with my business acumen than with her tantrum. As they filed out, with Chloe escorting them to their vehicles, Dad lingered behind. "Princess," he stated quietly, "I owe you an apology. I should have advocated for you." "Yes, you should have," I concurred. "But it's not too late to commence." He nodded, ultimately comprehending the unspoken message. It was time for him and Mom to cease enabling Lily's conduct. The repercussions were intriguing. Lily eventually procured another venue, one that was considerably less prestigious and significantly more costly. She remains estranged from me, which, candidly, is rather tranquil. Mom is endeavoring to mend our rapport, commencing with ultimately acknowledging that my ancillary enterprises were, in fact, impressive feats. Somerset Manor has now ascended to become the most coveted wedding venue in 3 states. I continue to reside in my cherished Victorian dwelling, although I've engaged professionals to conclude the renovations. My Toyota functions impeccably, thank you very much. Occasionally, I contemplate what would have transpired had I yielded to Lily's demands. Would she have gleaned any wisdom? Would anything have altered? In all likelihood, no. Conversely, I imparted 3 invaluable lessons to my family. Triumph does not necessitate ostentation to be authentic. Deference is merited, not mandated. Never underestimate the reticent individual who labors diligently and minds their own affairs. Last week, I received a nuptial invitation from Zachary's sister. She specifically requested Somerset Manor as her venue. I personally sanctioned her reservation. After all, astute business acumen entails discerning when to assent as much as discerning when to decline. As for Lily, the latest information I possess indicates she's rediscovering herself, this time through yoga instructor training. Zachary's parents insisted on a prenuptial agreement, and apparently, residing within an actual budget has been quite an acclamation for her. Meanwhile, I'm expanding Somerset Manor's event operations, reconnoitering properties in other states, and savoring the serenity and tranquility of my dumpster of a little house that I worked so assiduously to possess. Sometimes, the optimal vengeance isn't about retribution. It's about maintaining your stance and allowing karma to execute its function. Several years have elapsed since then. Lily and Zach ultimately wed, but their union did not endure even 3 years. Divergent values, divergent perspectives on existence. Lily was compelled to return to her parents, and, to my astonishment, she appeared to have commenced a transformation. Bereft of a perpetual influx of capital and opulence to which she was habituated, she was obliged to confront reality. She procured employment, the most commonplace, an administrative assistant in a modest firm. And, conceive of it, she commenced to appreciate what she possesses. Mom ultimately ceased attributing all of Lily's tribulations to me and even commenced to express pride in my achievements. She frequently telephones, inquires regarding the affairs of the enterprise, and proffers counsel, occasionally even sagacious. Father. Father remains a man of few words, but I perceive deference in his gaze that was previously absent. He commenced assisting me with minor repairs in my Victorian dwelling, and these are our most cherished moments, tranquil, composed, imbued with a shared endeavor. As for Somerset Manor, it is flourishing. We expanded our offerings, appending corporate functions and private soirees to our nuptial ceremonies. Chloe evolved into my indispensable collaborator, and her impeccable taste and organizational proficiencies rendered Somerset Manor synonymous with luxury and impeccable service. I recently received correspondence from Zach. He conveyed that his divorce from Lily was a arduous but requisite decision. He confessed that he had perpetually admired my tenacity and fortitude and requested a meeting. I assented. We convened in a diminutive cafe not far from my residence. Zach appeared fatigued, but there was the identical scintillation in his eyes as before. We deliberated regarding business, regarding existence, regarding the significance of cherishing genuine things. He proposed that we collaborate, to amalgamate our endeavors and engender something surpassing merely a chain of opulent hotels and event venues. Something that would benefit individuals, generate employment, and sustain local communities. The notion intrigued me. We commenced deliberating specifics, formulating schemes, and I apprehended that Zach is not merely a pampered scion, but a shrewd, ambitious, and most significantly, honorable individual. Who comprehends what the future portends? Perhaps a partnership, perhaps something more, but I comprehend one verity unequivocally. I am no longer that reticent and inconspicuous Olivia who permitted others to determine for her. I am the mistress of my fate, and I construct my existence myself, brick by brick, akin to that very antiquated Victorian dwelling that once constituted my initial stride toward triumph. And I am no longer apprehensive of others' sentiments or arduous determinations, because I comprehend that the cardinal element is to believe in oneself and tenaciously pursue one's objective, disregarding envy and machinations. And existence, as we are cognizant, will arrange everything in its proper place. And occasionally, the optimal manner of exacting vengeance is merely to be content.